What up, GG Nation, GG Legion? It's your fella again, Straussman the GG. Happy Halloween, and we got a special guest back today for episode 5 of Anime Time. That's right, Anime Time is back, and welcome back the Grizzly Wonder himself.
Grizzly Wonder.
Chad, welcome back.
Here. How you doing, guys? Sorry for the,
We do apologize for not having Anime Time. It's been extremely busy for both of us.
Couple weddings.
I had a wedding to go to. He had to go to a wedding. Like,
a lot of work.
I flew up to Green Bay. It's been a very busy last couple of months. But thank you.
3 months. 3 months.
Yeah, like 3
we
months.
Apologize.
It's been a while, but Anime Time is back on Halloween. Happy Halloween! I'll have some Halloween gameplay for you, thanks to Chad and some other. I think I'll play some Amnesia and some other games as well.
I'll just tell him what you're gonna play already. Just show him. Throw a little sneak peek.
Ooh.
That's too much glare.
That was way too much glare. But Anime Time is back today. Thank you guys so much. Over 3,200 views already, and we're going to be well over that because you guys have been killing it. You've been liking the reactions I did yesterday. So stay tuned for some gameplay. I'm going to switch it back up for you. And don't worry, I know a lot of you have asked about the Stranger Things, Season 2.
It's coming.
Spoiler again. It's going to happen. Don't worry. We'll wrangle some people up this week for it.
He was so excited about it. He was telling me about it before
Yeah,
the podcast.
I
was like, nah, I'm not. Don't talk to me about it.
But we got a special anime to talk about today. Happy Halloween again. It's Akame Ga Kill. And you can see I got both the limited edition collector sets up here for you. And we're going to talk about this one for episode. This one might be a little bit longer of an episode because it's been a long time and we appreciate you guys.
It's a crazy anime too. So
it's
kind of fun to talk about.
Fantastic anime. So Chad, I want you to start off genre-wise because we have a different opinion. But go with it. Go with it.
It's horror, bro. It's action horror.
I like what you said before. Psychological.
It's psychological. Well, it's not all the way through. It's more like the first half of the series for me.
Because to be honest, it is in a lot of ways it can be considered that because horror is a mini amount of genres nowadays.
It's not just
hack
and slash.
I call it more of a action comedy / thriller.
It has a good amount of everything. Just like any good anime, it has a good amount of everything.
It does, but Chad made a lot of great points. Go ahead and say what the point is of horror in the particular main character of Tatsumi. Go ahead, say that on camera.
I mean, it's the first episode. Just how they throw you into the story and what he goes to at the end, like, and how he just perceives everything and. I mean, we'll get into it. Literally, he gets lost. So he's in a city, and he's in bad shape, he's hungry, whatever. He gets picked up
He's from a poor city. Well, yeah, very poor city.
They send him town. Out. Yeah, they send him and his 2 other friends out to the capital to go get jobs, go live better lives, stuff like that. And he ends up, being a little worse off at the beginning, and
he's taken advantage of for sure. Definitely
sure, yeah.
Being taken advantage of. But go ahead.
The girl comes by and in a carriage, and
he's looking for his 2 bestest friends.
Looking for his 2 friends
from his village that are gone.
Yeah,
they're just gone.
And then she decides to take him in, and against her advisor's will or her protector's will or whatever, they let him come with, and the craziness. Bro, like as soon as that happens, because you don't really get any dark vibes.
More into it. Right now, we're still in
you
genre.
You don't really get any dark vibes from it right off the bat.
No, that's the best part though. It's very innocent at first because that's what Tatsumi is. Well, he's very innocent. He doesn't understand. And the point I think Chad was trying to make, because he said it off camera, was that Tatsumi gets very scared in his first fight, his first actual.
Oh, that's a couple episodes in.
It is, big fight. But that could be considered horror itself, like you said, very psychological. Like, because how would you feel?
Think about how when he walks into the barn, and he sees
we'll talk about it. We'll try to keep
terrifying.
We'll try to keep. We'll try to spoil much for you. That's not the purpose of Anime Time. It's just to get you guys into the show and tell you why we like it. But we'll probably touch a little bit on some spoilers maybe at the end because I do want to talk about it with Chad. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, the first episode was a mine. Like, it gets you... And it was so popular when they first debuted this anime on Toonami. It had over 2 million views.
Of people watched it.
Over 2 million views is how good this show was. I know a lot of people do not like the end. They like the manga a lot more. Yeah. We'll talk about that later. But,
gotta end the anime somehow.
Is there any dislikes from this, genre? This genre or this type of anime? Like, this anime that you were kind of...
At times, I don't like all the comedy that actually is in it. It does.
There's a lot.
It does at certain points kind of drag it down because they seem to throw it in. They try to throw it in at, good times to where it's not like immediately after something crazy happens or something real emotional happens. And there's a good chunk of like the first handful of episodes that are pretty funny. But as soon as like the first 6 episodes pass, it's dark and gloomy, and it's...
Many of you said the same thing.
There shouldn't be comedy in it.
Many of you said the same thing, that the comedy should not be in this. It should be much more serious. It does have some very serious tones.
Of course, it does.
But I think, personally, I'm kind of a little bit biased, because I love comedy.
No, and it is funny. They do a good job.
The comedy is funny, but you're right. Maybe it is. But I think it's purposely put there to make you feel a little bit better.
Yeah, make it feel safer.
Yeah, just for that split second.
To make you... It's more or less there to make you realize that these are actual people. Like, they're still enjoying their lives. They're still having good times, even though they're going through this crazy situation.
And technically they are, assassins.
Yeah, and a lot of them are young,
Yeah, so...
Tatsumi's a kid.
Yeah, he is. Let's talk about, let's list some other animes that could be considered in this genre. I could do a million. Parasite's a great horror one. Hellsing's a great horror one. When They Cry, that's a messed up horror one.
You can consider parts of, like, the end of Sword Art kind of almost in similar fashion.
The ending, yeah, I would say Gun Gale. Very much a psychological horror, for sure. Like,
the second season.
Yeah, the beginning of the second
or
season.
The third season.
We're finally getting a game about that, by the way. Gun Gale.
It's actually going to be a real game?
Yeah, of Gun Gale. Finally. Like, finally we're going to have Gun Gale for Sword Art. Someone tagged me in the collectors. Shout out to you, Kelvin.
We're not talking about Sword Art, though.
No, we're not. But psychological horror, for sure. I wish this did have a game, like a Dynasty Warriors type game. This would be dope.
I think it would be better if it was more of like an actual like RPG game where you actually could pick one of the characters or
play together. Have the team together. That'd be cool. Do missions and you pick what mission. Yeah. Get on that, Bandai Namco. Get on that. You're making a 7 Deadly Sins game, which I'm hyped about. But come on, you got to do one for Akame Ga Kill. And do that damn Outlaw Star game I've been wanting since I was like 10 years old.
That's never gonna happen.
I know it's never. I gotta let it go.
You can remake the anime though.
All right, so let's get into the story, and we talked about it a little bit. And Tatsumi, he and his friends, unfortunately I forgot his 2 friends' names.
I don't remember them either. They're there for an episode, bro.
They are there for an episode. Tatsumi, they're all 3 of them are in a small city, very poor, village. And this village is being taxed to death by the government. Mm-hmm. So all 3 of them will go on their way to make money for their city. Or village. I keep saying village. They go to the city to make money for the village.
The capital.
The capital, which is called... It's the big city in this type. This is set in very 1500s, 1600s-esque, but it has, like, creatures and stuff. And our innocent character, he slays, like, a dragon, like, right off the bat. And they're like, hey, kid, that's awesome. We'll pay you some money.
Yeah.
And then they send him onto this way, and then he meets one of our main characters, God, I need to look their names up. Leon.
He runs into Leon.
And she swindles him.
Yeah.
Like all ladies
Takes all his stuff.
Takes all his money, and he falls for it. And the barkeep's like, dude, she's not coming back.
She's coming back.
And he's like, oh, so he's starving. Cold. It's cold. He's starving. He's sitting outside like a bum. And then he gets picked up by this cute little innocent girl.
Yeah. About the same age, maybe a little younger.
This is all episode 1, by the way, so it might be a little bit of spoilers of episode 1. But this should really get you into the show.
Yeah.
And she takes him in, feeds him, blah blah blah, and all of a sudden,
he doesn't he ask about his friends, and then
they're very polite and they're like, oh, we hope you find them again and stuff like that. But it takes a turn for the worst. It takes a turn for the worst. Someone put a hit on this family, and these assassins right behind us are set to kill them.
No, they don't know that yet.
Huh?
You don't know that yet. Do you?
True, I guess.
I don't think you don't figure that out until like the very end.
That's yeah. I guess I spoiled that, but like you just see these, like you see all these people dying. You see the mom die. You see the dad die. But Tatsumi, when he's trying to protect the girl, he finds out the dirty, dark secret.
Yeah.
Of what's in that shed.
She's the one who's.
The family has been poisoning his friends, killed his friends.
Torturing.
Poisoning. I mean, dismembering. Very Saw. Torture porny. Very torture porny. And
oh, for sure. Especially on the female's end of it.
And Tatsumi loses it. He loses it and hacks her up, joins the team, per se, of these band of misfits, who are not so bad.
That was intense, too. When
it's a very intense episode, because you see on the other side, you see Tatsumi's perspective, and that these guys seem very evil and not right. But it's the other way around.
And he's still, like, twisted at first and, like, doesn't know what to really think about the whole situation also. Because, obviously, you just walked in and both of your friends are pretty much dead. One is dead. The other one's, like, saying his last words to you.
And then dies in your hands. And I think it's a real shame, because I think he really loved that girl.
Well, the real twist with
it's heavily implied that he did.
Yeah, but the real twist with it is how psychotic, like, the
girl was. Yes,
like she's calm, like cool.
Cutesy,
and
very
as soon as
innocent.
that door opens, like it's like a switch.
And she even admits why she killed him.
A crazy person.
Why she killed her? She said her body was too perfect, and she was much more prettier than I was, so I had to torture her and disfigure the body. And you see her just dead, and he is so broken about it. He's so hurt.
A lot of the anime ends up feeling that way.
Yes, it is. It's one of those animes maybe don't get attached to anybody.
No, yeah.
Don't just like
very Game of Thronesy.
Very much so. Yes, like.
If you like somebody, don't.
Yeah, like especially very Attack on Titan-ish as well. Like just don't like anybody. Don't have a favorite character. don't have a favorite character. Just kind of. Did you
get close, but not too close?
Don't get too close. And that was the basic intro of episode 1. It gets into a crazy adventure, crazy world. There is they have powers. They have I forgot what their weapons were called, but there was only a few of them made. Like the previous emperor only made a few amount of.
Yeah, because he like puts his power into the.
Yeah, he put all his power into each weapon, but he only made a certain amount. So they're super rare, and if you have one, you will have a huge competitive advantage. And it's kind of it chooses its owner type thing. Because there's a particular one where Tatsumi wants to use the...
the Imperial Arms. That's what they
Imperial Arms. There we go.
I had it and I couldn't believe it.
The Imperial Arms. And again, they kind of have a book on it and they study it. But they kind of choose
all of them are known and they all have certain power levels. So like there's like classes of weapons. So there's like low class, high class, and then like there's
very much there's tiers, class. yeah, like OP. Yeah. As Death, very OP.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's type of those things that choose because there's a particular character, and we won't spoil it. That Tatsumi, he finally kind of gets one. He tries it on, and there's a funny moment where he sees the girls, see through, but. It messes with his mind and he loses it, and he can't use that particular Imperial Arms.
Yeah, you got to be compatible with.
They kind of have to like choose you for sure.
Which is kind of crazy on how he actually finally gets his.
The first half of the story is very much survival of the fittest. Tatsumi kind of learning to be part of Night Raid here, which is the first group. Second half, there's another group called the Jaegers, very much. Mimics of each other.
They're specialized assassin force meant to kill the Night Raid.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. And yes, they are. But
that's what they are.
Again, perspective-wise, you might see these Jaegers as bad people, jerks, but in reality, a lot of them are good people.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
what is right and what is wrong in this series? Well, yeah, there's not very much. It's a gray line, moral line. Very much Persona 5.
You got regular citizens that live in a capital that's run by a corrupted person, and they don't see that, and the evil that kind of like lurks behind the scenes, and Night Raid is the group of people who, even though they're pictured as bad people because they go against the capital, they're wanted criminals. They are going to be tortured and killed. Standard citizen sees them as bad, but they're doing good things because they're fighting what is the true evil.
Yes,
but no one sees it that way because obviously you don't see.
But there's very much mimics in the sense, especially with Wave. He's so much like Tatsumi in every single way. Yeah, innocent guy, from the sea.
Wave and Tatsumi, from the sea. And then you have Akame and her sister.
Yep, Chrome.
What was he?
Which is an awesome name, by the way, for an anime character, Chrome.
That's a good one.
Very much mimics in a lot of ways. So, did you like the overall story? Did you?
It was
both arcs. Did you like both arcs?
No.
There's technically like 4 arcs, but did you like all?
Stronger more at the beginning and the middle than at the end, especially in the anime. Like Levi said earlier, a lot of people don't like how the anime ends.
Yeah, a lot of people do not. I'm okay with it. I was really shocked by it, to be honest. I was very shocked by the ending.
It was well done for how they did it.
It was. I would like to see it.
The ending is my least favorite part. Yes.
I kind of have to agree. It's kind of a downer, big time downer, but not in the right way. Not in the right way. It just kind of comes out of nowhere. It's kind of unexpected, and and we won't spoil that yet. We'll probably talk about it in a little bit. But man, that kind of comes out of nowhere. I did like the overall story. I do like the pacing of the anime very much. The comedy moments.
It's real quick. It's like even when they're trying to develop the story and actually explain more what's going on, like it
never bores you.
By the time you get to the point where Bulat and Tatsumi are fighting, and the Tatsumi finally gets his Imperial arms, like the story just takes off from there, and then it ends almost instantly.
Yeah, it really does. And even when the Jaegers are introduced, it's cool to see episodes on their side and see where they come from and how they like. A lot of them are misjudged, but also a lot of them are evil as.
Like, no, most of them are.
But a lot of them are innocent, like Wave and the fire guy. He's a very nice. He has a wife and kids, but he's misjudged because of his mask and what he does. And I remember that episode. Wave wanted to talk to him, and he could not. Yep. And then he has such an innocent voice too. I'm sorry, so I didn't mean to scare you, Wave.
It's sad, bro.
Very sad.
Like it actually makes you feel for the.
We'll talk about characters a little bit, but
this anime does a good job at making you feel for all the characters that are in it, even though. At some point in time they're not going to be in it anymore.
So we kind of talked about its greatest weakness, which is probably the ending. What was its best strength? For me, the pacing was the best strength for this anime.
Besides the hook in the first episode, it would be the pacing of it.
It's really good.
It's one of the very few animes that you don't get bored with.
You don't. It's just fun to watch. Like I can pop it in any day and just have fun watching it. That'd be very sad.
It's not like trying to marathon like a section of One Piece or something like that, where you kind of have some like slow points. But no, you're interested from the start.
All the characters are really interesting, even though you might see them for only a few episodes.
Even though the comedy in the first couple episodes kind of like throws you off,
a lot of the backstories
sets you on a good path.
A lot of the backstories of the characters are very tragic too. They're not very happy.
That's what that's why I was considering it Game of Thrones, because the first 6 episodes is you getting attached to these characters, and then they just throw them in a dumpster fire and just kill everyone. Sorry.
No, you just because you didn't say who, but it will surprise you who goes first.
Yeah, it's not like everyone dies, but like everyone dies.
And I like this where Tatsumi there's an episode where Tatsumi makes a joke where he's like, "Oh, you guys are assassins, and we could." We'll be all right. And he's like, and they're like, no. You take this very seriously. you could die at any moment.
And then that
because he doesn't take it. He doesn't take it seriously.
No, he doesn't, and that's made very clear. When he gets into that first fight with the like general or the commander dude in the streets.
Yeah, like the first arc is Tatsumi kind of letting go of his friends. He has a hard time when he gets. He hopes there's when he
save him.
Like even there was when he tried out that one Imperial Arms that we won't speak of. Because we won't spoil that for you. He thinks that there'll be one that brings back the dead, and there isn't. And they explain very much so that, Tatsumi, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't, no matter how much you're dead, you're dead.
Dead, yep.
And it crushes him. It crushes him on the inside, and, Shell kind of comforts him a little bit on it. A little bit.
They all do, a little bit.
They do, but Shell was the first, because he made 2 little graves for him. And he was in tears, and Shell just is like, just stay like this, She gives him a big hug and holds on to him. Very touching moment for Tatsumi. Did you like the romance? Both sides, the Estes side and Tatsumi and
the Estes stuff I think is hilarious.
It is.
I never thought. It kind of
hints at it
that. Well, it hints at it that she's trying to find somebody to be with. At the beginning when
the emperor asked honestly what do you want?
You need to get a boyfriend or something.
No, he just asked what do you really want? And she goes, I want love.
Yeah.
And they're like, what?
Which is really surprising.
Which really throws everyone off.
She's cold. She's cold-hearted. A lot has to do with her personality.
She does not add her power to. Yeah. But she does not take no.
Very well with her character.
I'm trying to show you a picture of her.
It's not that she doesn't take no for answer. It's just no isn't in her vocabulary.
No, she just flat out kills you. Yeah, she just kills you straight up. She
gets what she wants when she wants it, and it's funny because
there she is.
Tatsumi kind of is a little defiant to her, and she gets
a
little turned on by it.
She likes it a lot. She also likes his cute innocence.
But she's extremely obsessive, and that comes with her psychoticness too.
She is very obsessive when their first interaction with each other. Her heart skips a beat, and she discovers love. It is,
and it's crazy because
it is true love, I think, but it's crazy love at the same time. Because, like you said, because it's very obsessive.
More of
I own you,
toxic infatuation.
I need you and I own you.
Yeah.
I need to have you. And
it's good.
It's funny.
That's for an interesting dynamic for the second half of the arc.
The other one is a little bit rushed, but if you go back and watch it, you'll see it from the
beginning.
I
don't like the other ones because they're a little more emotional. They're not quite. They're more meant to be there to kind of ease the pain of everything that's been going on.
Yeah, but the one in particular, which I kind of spoiled anyway, but. It gets there, and you're kind of shocked by it, and you're kind of happy at the same time for both of them. And then it's just taken away. Right immediately. That's what the show is. That's what the show is.
It was coming. You don't do that, and you knew that was going to happen.
And you knew that was her last words to him.
You got the feel. You could tell by watching that episode that was going to happen. You can't say, the episode gave it away.
No, you're right, but it's just I have hope, Chad.
Oh yeah, they do a good job, pulling you into these characters, getting you to care about them, and getting you hooked on them, and then literally just pulling the carpet right under your feet and saying, "Poop."
Yeah, they're gone. Sorry. So let's get into it.
And Shell, she's the perfect example, is she not? She was in 4
Shell's
episodes?
Right here.
Was she in 4 episodes?
The thing is, I think the manga goes much deeper with all these characters.
For sure. We can't.
The anime is 25, 26 episodes, so it's pretty long.
We can't consider it. We can't compare it to manga.
Yeah, it's going to be different, but I feel like the first half of it is very faithful to the manga, with the killings and stuff like that, and getting to know the characters. In the anime, unfortunately,
had to end.
They had to They probably didn't even know they were going to get a second half of it. So they were we kind of have to.
I don't think they thought people were going to like it as much as they did.
Yeah, because it's very violent. It's very gory.
Because I don't know. I don't know how well received it is overseas, but it's popular here.
It's very popular here.
It's just like Attack on Titan. It's one of those things that kind of it's a hit or miss. It hits here, but it doesn't. I don't think it necessarily
Maybe so. I gotta check on that.
I don't know either.
I think the manga is very successful over there. The anime
I
might
thought
not
it was
be
here. See.
I think it's vice versa. The anime is big here, and
manga's big. I mean, manga's usually always bigger.
Yeah. But we're Attack on Titan. It's loved everywhere. Yeah. Like everybody loves Attack on Titan.
Not as much as us though. I think the American
crowd.
Fans.
Yeah, it's definitely very American anime. Has
very little Japanese Dragon Ball. What other I've never heard people talk about any other anime as much as they talk about Attack on Titan.
It's very true. That's a valid point. Even before I even watched Attack on Titan, I had so many people back when I used to work at said place talk to me yo.
But that's that's kind of what Akame Ga Kill is. A lot of, from what I see, I don't see a lot of foreign people talking about it. And I say foreign, I mean overseas, not in America. American fans like to talk about it. So, it's surprising, you never know what's
It's a really good show. My buddy, Kelvin, which I mentioned earlier, he's the one that told me about this show. I watched the first episode on Toonami, and I'm like, holy... Because he watched it when it was subbed way back.
So did I.
I watched it dubbed, and I was
about to say, I watched the original, I watched the sub. I watched most of my
I watched it dubbed, and I was like, whoa! I was very impressed by the show. And I just fell in love with the characters. And let's go by them. Let's start with Tatsumi. Was he... the most likable to you?
He is a good lead character. Mostly just because...
Is he the lead character, though?
For the anime story, yes,
he is. For the most part.
For sure. And it's kind of misleading. It is kind of misleading, but they do a good job at showing the story through mostly his eyes.
Yes, and they do a really good job.
And you feel for him, at all points in time.
It's just sad. It's just really sad because he sees his two best friends, one of them that he really loved.
Not just his best friends, bro. Anybody he ends up caring about, gone.
It's besides Akame, because I really felt like those two were gonna have a romance, but that was a switcheroo. They totally don't have a romance at all. They're just really good friends, and it makes it. The story does a good job making you feel like they're gonna be, but another character ends up really
she's kind of swept under the rug in the anime. It seems like
except towards the end.
Of course, when it kind of more focuses on her.
Yeah, the second half is definitely her story.
Yeah,
it's definitely her story.
Yeah, it's more her story.
I'm interested to see if I don't know if we'll ever get it because the Akame Ga Kill 0 is also very popular in Japan and manga. I hope they do an anime of that, and I would like to see Akame before all this happens. Before she switches sides.
You don't really get a lot of her backstory. And even though her sister's in the story too, you really don't get too much story for it.
All you really get to know is that she was on the bad side in some people's eyes. She was on the bad side, and she got recruited to the good side. And that's basically what they give you, and you kind of have to fill in the lines in between because, like you said, it's Tatsumi.
For the story, it's not relevant.
So we'll talk about Akame now. Did you like her a lot?
No, actually, I didn't. I didn't like how quiet she was. I kind of wish she was a little more involved in the story at the beginning instead of having just kind of those little scenes here and there where she would say one word and then just kind of disappear again.
I liked that a lot. It added to the mystery to her. It's I wanted to know more.
It made her more interesting for the end of especially for how her character develops towards the end.
She definitely really cares for her comrades, though.
They all do.
They all do. They're a family.
That group,
they are a family, but she. You say where she's kind of empty and stuff, but she really does care. She picks up Tatsumi many times.
She's the smart one because she understands that, every time I get close to somebody, they die. I'm pretty sure she says that at some point in time during the anime. She is.
I really liked her a lot. Let's go with mine, which is the pink-haired one right here with the big gun. What do you think about mine?
Whiny little annoying girl.
She's very much the Tsunanare character. I probably said that wrong, but she's the character that just beats the main character's butt all the time.
All the time.
Because there's episodes where Tatsumi's training and he has a new training partner, and that episode was pretty hilarious. Where they first go shopping. And he's like, "Is this all we're gonna do?" And then she just stomps on him, just repeat you just do what I say.
Don't ask questions.
And it's what? And then, but there were some seeds. Pay attention to that episode. There were some seeds planted in that episode, so pay attention to that. But yeah, she's very whiny at first. What'd you think of? We should talk about their powers too. Did you like her Imperial arms?
Yeah, actually.
Her Imperial arms. I forgot the name of it, but the gun it gets stronger when she's in danger.
Yeah. So the more
I don't know how
it
it understands or comprehends that, but
well, you gotta remember the Imperial arms are kind of like beings themselves.
Sort of like they're attached to it, like they. Yeah.
So they kind of like they're aware of what the hell's going on. But yeah, the more risk she takes, the stronger her.
Yeah, she's basically the sniper of the group. But if she gets in close range combat, which is not her forte, it's very much like Outlaw Star. Caster shell shot.
Caster shells.
Or very much like, a Kamehameha wave. Like, it's just a big, beam. And it just incinerates you. It's brutal.
It is brutal.
Let's back up a little bit. What'd you think of... I know what you really personally think of Akame's weapon, but what'd you think?
Like I said, poisonous blade.
Tell them what you think.
Big whoop-de-doo.
I kind of like it. It's a curse. It's a curse.
It is a curse. But they don't kind of explain that as well in the anime either.
I think they do a little bit because Akame,
Is there an episode at the end like that kind of?
Well, no, it's just the blade is poisonous to everybody.
Yeah,
even herself.
Mm-hmm.
She mentions it's like she's like it's so hard to clean this thing, and she's got like gloves on, like trying to clean.
Be really careful with it.
Like it's the curse. It takes one swipe and it takes over your heart and just gives you like a heart attack and kills you. We'll save the main characters one. We'll save that. We'll talk about the other character first. What'd you think of Leon as a character?
Whoa.
That's your favorite?
It's your
my weakness?
Lone furry of the group, I guess you can call her.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
She's
Blondes always have more fun, guys.
Yeah, of course.
Blonde.
She's
the wild child.
Yeah, she's the crazy one.
She's one of the older ladies. All the other girls are young.
It's only her and the commander are the two oldest ones.
Yeah, and she gets picked on a lot. We'll talk about the commanders. But Leon is definitely the wild child. She likes to go drinking, having fun. Tatsumi really looks up to her as a big sis.
Yeah.
He calls her big sis.
She's the one that does kind of recruit him into it,
Recruit is a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
They basically kidnap his ass.
Yeah, they kind of like force him.
Hey, you're gonna do it.
That girl, you're pretty much gonna work with us.
Well, they do give him an option. They're like, hey,
we can do it for you, but
they're like, hey, you could work for us.
Or
as an assassin, or you could just clean around the house, but we're gonna keep you here the rest of your life. You can't go into it.
Slave.
So he chooses the other end of the route, obviously, of the show. But Leon, she is a very fun, unique character. Her power is the lion strength, where she kind of turns into a furry. She gets super strong.
Beast mode.
Yeah, she goes very beast mode. She has ears. She has a tail. They accentuate her ass a lot in the show, so be prepared. So pay attention, like
most animes, it's
if that throws you off a little bit, don't let it throw you off because the show's not about that.
Yeah.
The show's very, very, very down to the core of violence.
Yeah.
Basically, that's basically its main thing.
For sure.
It's not the sexual part. There is some sexy time, but not as much.
Yeah, more gore time.
Than anything. She's a very fun character. She takes Tatsumi under his wing a lot.
She lightens up a lot of the episodes too.
She does. She is a big time sweetheart too. Much as fun as she playful. Is, but she does definitely cares about her teammates. Cares about Tatsumi. What'd you think of her? Did you like her power though? Was it like
that's she's another one of the more basic ones, but I mean the way she uses it mostly makes it entertaining. And
there's an episode where her and Tatsumi probably kill 100 people.
Yeah, she goes ham.
And you see everything.
Yeah.
I was awesome. When I first watched that, I was like, what the?
That's damn good. That is one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, it was a really great episode when you find, she finds a particular friend that has become a sex slave, per se. Slight spoiler to that episode, but that's not the whole episode. Next character. Next character. Oops, sorry.
You talked about mine. Lubbock.
Nope, Shell.
Okay.
Shell has one of the most basic looking weapons, but it's one of the coolest things ever. The way she wields it. It's a giant pair of scissors. A giant pair of scissors, but she swings that thing around. Mm-hmm. She chops people. And it cuts anything. Brutal. It doesn't matter what it is. It will cut anything.
It is brutal.
It is very brutal. What do you think of Shell as a character? I personally really like Shell. She is such a sweetheart. She's the klutz of the group. She's the klutz of the group. She can't do anything right. Even when she's cleaning or cooking, Agami kicks her out of the kitchen. Bulat helps her mop because the mop bucket fell on her head. She's very much like Velma. Yeah. Where's my glasses? Where's my glasses? And she's really cute with her glasses, but she has a really dark past, and she's just trying to live, trying to pass those
good life.
Just to live a good life and pass those memories on, avenge those ones that she has lost. But she's the other one that kind of goes ham in that particular episode when you see her backstory. Does. But man, I really love Shell. I wish we got. I won't say, but I mean, but what do you think of Shell?
The end of that episode where she consoles Tatsumi about everything it's one of the better parts of that whole anime. It is quite emotional.
It's very
and actually, amazing. It kind of actually makes you feel for her more, and then that kind of gets torn away real quick.
I think she really liked Tatsumi a lot too, as well. She knew how good and how nice when they were training together. She always took it easy on him a little bit compared to everybody else. Everybody else, reamed him completely. But she was very, very sweet, and she understood what Tatsumi was going through, losing her. His two best friends.
Especially as recent as it was, because she kind of went through the same thing.
I'm not saying the others don't comfort him. They do to a degree, but
they don't baby him. They kind of make him everybody else in the group kind of makes him realize that, look.
You got to grow up quick.
Yeah, this is what this is. This is how the world works.
You kind of have to grow up quick. Where she really wants to take care of him and, make him feel better. And it's an amazing, sweet moment. And you won't see what happens, but you will. But, I mean, you won't see what by us talking.
You will.
Go watch it. The next one will be... Oh, did you like her weapon, though? And did you like the scissors?
Yeah, it was fun.
Simple, but...
it's cool.
But now you're right. Yeah. It's Lubbock. What did you think of him?
I actually really like Lubbock.
He's kind of the peeping Tom, the perv of the group.
He is the perv of the group.
He's kind of he.
But it's like a childish kind of perv. Because he never takes it too far. But
I don't know.
He never makes it that far either, though. He always messes
He gets
up.
caught. Yeah, he gets caught. He's looked plenty of times at the girls while they're taking a shower or a bath. He at least tries, but he never gets far. Yeah. Leon almost breaks his arm several times.
That's funny.
Which is super funny. He's kind of the comic relief of the group.
His interaction with everybody is usually always funny.
Even when he kills people.
Yeah.
He's like, man, you're so beautiful.
He's not a fighter. He's more of a trickster.
Yeah, he's like, you're so beautiful. Too bad you got caught in my web, and he just, his Imperial Arms is pretty amazing.
It suits him the most, I think.
Yes, because
outside of Tatsumi's, it suits him the most.
He's very much a tactician, where he's got to plant his traps. Yeah, very much. That's the perfect way to put it. Very much a trickster. Even though he wants all the ladies to like him, he's never jealous of Tatsumi. He's very nice to Tatsumi. Sees him as a brother. He treats him really well, which is pretty surprising. You expect him to be
the jerk.
Be a jerk about it, but that's the great part about the show. They really are a family. They really are a family together. And his Imperial Arms it's really fun. But he does really have a crush on one particular person. And it's the main commander.
Yeah.
He really loves her.
The commander.
He joined the army because of her. And she doesn't know.
No.
And Tatsumi tries to get him out of his shell to, admit his love.
That's not an easy thing to do with the
commander. And it's not, because the commander is very much different than she was now.
Really bland character, but she's a beast.
Let's talk to the muscle man himself, Bulat. He is probably one of the coolest Imperial arms ever, man.
He has the status, like, he's the one who you get emotionally attached to the most.
He's another guy that was converted over.
The story.
He was converted over.
Yeah, because he was like one of the main guards for.
Yeah, he was a big general in the army
for whoever. And actually, at one point in the episode, he's training Tatsumi in there. And all of a sudden, like, his old commander shows up with the two other guys that he has to fight. And literally, it's like Bulat versus the three of them.
Yeah, because Tatsumi can't do anything.
Have an Imperial arms yet.
Yeah, he can't really do anything.
And Bulat gets wrecked.
Bulat's
even
a beast.
Even though Bulat wrecks everyone else, like, Bulat does end up falling. And that's how... I mean, we can kind of transition it, because there's really not much else to say about Bulat besides, like, he's literally Tatsumi's big brother. Like,
he calls him big bro, but he has kind of a silly infatuation.
You say that, but at the same time,
it's funny. It works with the show. It's hilarious. He is the big brother for sure. Absolutely,
it's more of like a big brother.
He's the one that is pretty straight with Tatsumi almost all the time.
And he's like, really masculine, and digs himself.
He's very much like you got to really wake up, man. Yeah. This is real. And it's tough for Tatsumi.
He really hammers that home too, right before he dies. It's crazy.
He gives Tatsumi the biggest confidence. Slight spoiler there, you kind of but he passes on his, Imperial arms.
Well, we got to talk about it eventually. Like, you got to explain how Tatsumi eventually gets one.
But Tatsumi takes his armor over, and it's this armor.
Well, it's a good transition because it's. Bulat, I'm pretty sure Bulat actually says something to him right before he dies. And
he does. It's a very amazing speech.
That makes, like, the armor, like, hit with Tatsumi. And that's what forms the bond. Yeah, like, that's almost what, like, forms the bond.
Because the thing is, the monster is a living creature.
Yeah.
And he could easily kill and eat Tatsumi.
Anything, yeah.
Yeah, if he doesn't accept. But he accepts Tatsumi, forms the Tatsumi. Because Bulat and Tatsumi are the exact opposite. Tatsumi's a small little dude. And Bulat's like the 6'4", 6'5" guy that's ripped by unbelief.
So, the Imperial Arms wants to see Tatsumi live up to Bulat's expectations.
Yeah, the potential.
Because that's literally what, like, Bulat sees it in him. But...
he's the one that really drags it out of Tatsumi.
And
that particular action had to happen.
Yeah, that transition of his Imperial Arms
he had to
Tatsumi
go for it to
is what
for him to be better.
The story.
So let's talk about Big Boss Lady, or spells Najida.
That's her name?
Najida, yeah.
I just call her Commander, bro.
Call her Commander, go ahead. What'd you think about her? She has no Imperial arm, by the way.
No, she does have the coolest weapon on her.
She did lose, like, they explained, she's a very pretty lady. In the past, she still is now. Yeah, but she's definitely has the big.
Just like any other person, you go through a lot of war, a lot of crap. You lose an arm.
She loses an arm.
Takes a toll on you.
An eye.
Yeah.
She has an eye patch. She has the short haircut now, and she always smokes a cigar.
Yeah, there's the cigar.
Nice suits on. She has a nice suit on, but still showing.
No, you can tell she'd kick your butt if you.
She is a very tough lady. She helps recruit Akame into the team, and Bulat.
Well, she's the one. I mean, she's the one who leads everyone into the fight.
Yeah, she is a very
one thing in the back.
Even though you don't get to see too much of her backstory, you do get to see it
a little bit.
I do like her character a lot. It works. She's the force you need to lead this ragtag group. She keeps everybody in line.
Yeah.
Even Leon and everything.
Which is not easy to do.
Yeah, because Leon is always running around and she punishes Leon for being late on her tasks and stuff like that, which is funny.
And you do have to kind of explain to people that she does really have an Imperial arms.
I guess her arm is kind of...
No, it's the dude.
We'll talk about the next two characters.
All right.
But let's just talk about Najida.
All right.
And that's the romance.
Because that's really what her Imperial arms is.
Like, she doesn't have a particular romance because she doesn't know Lubbock really cares for her.
No, yeah.
But, like, that's Lubbock's romance. He really loves Najida. He fell in love with her day one, but he just never had the courage.
Let's move on to my favorite character.
Susanoo?
Is that... No.
That was the next one.
We'll talk about that one.
Because it leads right into Najida.
Yeah.
Because Susanoo joins the group, but he's a
person, but he is an Imperial Arms.
He's an Imperial Arms.
But he is a person.
Yes, like he is
It's weird.
It's very strange. He
It's
has like horns and stuff.
You kind of really didn't think it was possible the way they made it seem like how these weapons worked, and then he kind of just like gets put into the fold and like
he was asleep for like 40 years.
This guy's a beast.
He was like, or 100 years. He was asleep.
And he is a beast too. Like he is by far the coolest thing in the show.
And he's a amazing imperial arms because he can do anything. He builds a house for him. He kills all the danger beasts for him, cooks for him. He takes over Bulat's role that he had for Tatsumi. He's the one that kind of helps Tatsumi reach that next tier that he needs to reach. And he was asleep for a long time, and he wakes up, and there's a funny joke about Najida. He's like, "Oh, you remind me of my old master." Like, who was like a man, and everyone laughs at her. Everyone laughs at her. She gets super pissed about it. She gets super pissed about it. It's super funny. And he is awesome. He has some amazing abilities because they do get a couple new recruits midway through. Yeah. Because they lost a lot. Yeah. They lost a lot, so they get a couple new recruits. And I'm like, all right, are these characters going to be badass? Nope. And he definitely is. He definitely is. The other one's an interesting one, too. Very much a trickster.
The other one's a sad one, man.
Yeah, like, and we'll talk about her in a second. Anything else you want to talk about Susanoo?
Nah, not really. I mean, just to realize that Najida uses him mostly as a weapon.
Yes, but he
fights by himself.
His power is pretty costly, too, because it can shave some of your life off to power him up.
That's how she...
She's the only one to actually go past that certain number, which is insane.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Sweet. She's not here. But Chelsea. Let's talk about Chelsea. Yeah.
Honestly.
So I got her on here somewhere.
You introduce a character who literally, off the bat has no... she doesn't fight. She doesn't fight. She doesn't look like a fighter. She looks like a sweetheart. She's a lot like...
Very much a trickster, though. Very much like
for sure.
Looks can be deceiving.
Not to that extent. Mostly just because she is literally, like, she's changing not her personalities, but she's changing herself.
Her appearance, literally, that's her imperial arms. Is makeup.
Yeah, she can change into anyone pretty much.
Yeah, she could be a cat. She could be that person.
But that lack of that relying upon being sneaky. And not having combat experience really, like, it kind of like, why is she a part of this? You know what's going to happen. And literally, like, the most gruesome thing.
She does get some kills in, though. Like,
of course. She surprisingly enough, I didn't think she would, but...
She's not a big-time combat expertise, but that's what made her so unique and good.
But that's what also made her death that much more...
serious, yeah.
Yeah,
like brutal.
Horrifying.
Like, it is brutal. It is messed up.
I think it's the worst one in the whole...
But let's talk about...
I think it's the worst one in the whole show.
Let's talk about her a little bit, though, because
not bad.
She is... Let's talk about her character and get to know her.
Because I really liked her.
Yeah, he really did. He was all about her.
Yeah, she was a good character.
And
especially because of how she reacts with everyone in the group, because she stands off and she stands away from everyone, and she doesn't want to get close to people because she knows what happened. She's one of the very few characters that actually gets it. Like, don't like me, don't talk to me, I don't want to be your friend.
Yes, she's very standoffish. She's not really... She joins the group, but she's not buddy-buddy.
But that's what happened to her before. All of her friends...
She's not buddy-buddy. As soon as she gets close... Tatsumi's the one that kind of charms her up a little bit.
Which, as soon as that happened, you knew. Like, it was almost foreshadowed for her, like, when the whole group met her, and she just was, like, very standoffish.
Yeah,
knew. As soon as she kind of became one with everyone, she was going to get axed. And it was just like, come on, man. She was literally my favorite character.
She was awesome.
Because when she did become part of the group, she had great interactions with everyone.
She did. She was amazing. Especially with mine. Her and mine have some funny interactions.
So sad.
It's unfortunate what happens to her.
Because it really actually irritates me.
Yeah, I know. It's so funny. This is funny to rewatch this because Chad, man, the passion shows through her. I thought Leon was your favorite.
No, like she's relevant throughout the story.
Yeah. You see her a little bit more.
she's in there for 5 episodes, and then she gets axed.
Yeah, but I mean, I liked her a lot. I like Chelsea. She's a big part. She's a
big part of the story.
Those 5 episodes are very impactful for her.
Yeah.
Her character.
For everyone.
You see her change.
Even Tatsumi's growth.
You see everybody change. And let's get into some of the main characters. I mean, main antagonists. And let's talk about Esdeath. What'd you think of Esdeath as a character?
We were finally talking about her.
Let's talk about Esdeath. Oh my god, we're at 50 minutes already.
She's crazy. And you get that from her the first time you see her when she is just ruthless. She's just like boop,
she is a brutal
character. The
character.
whole army is dead, like everyone in front of you. And she really doesn't have time to waste on anything.
She has the strongest Imperial arms.
Yeah, I was gonna say she has the power literally to just wipe out thousands of people in 1 second. And she knows that. Like she knows she's as strong as she is. She knows she's the boss. Like even the Emperor, the evil guy,
the main evil
actually
guy,
like
the main evil,
pulling the strings behind the
puppet
Emperor,
master.
Is scared of her because she is.
Everybody's scared.
She is like OP. She's really OP.
And that's what makes her interactions with Tatsumi
awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Because I'm scared for the guy. I think he's gonna die.
Terrified.
I'm like, oh my god.
The first time she's like, yeah, you're mine. You're coming with me. And you're like, oh my god.
He's dead. He's gonna be tortured. He's gonna be raped.
And then she's like, I love you. And I'm like, no way. This is gonna happen for the rest of it.
And it's a funny change because she is so infatuated with Tatsumi.
Yeah, she really is.
Nothing stands in her way. No order is in her way. No order's too great. She goes leaps and bounds for Tatsumi to find him. And Tatsumi escapes numerous times. Barely by the hit, barely.
The time when he gets captured by her, or not even captured.
You're talking about the island one?
Yeah.
That's the funny one.
Like the random one where they just
it's kind of a random. It's kind of a random episode. They're kind of stuck in a dimension.
Yeah, and
because
just
of a particular character
somehow. And literally, they're stuck together for like 10 days.
And she wants to, have fun. And he's like, I'm learning. Like
trying to stay away.
Anybody else would be like,
all over it.
Yeah, because she's probably one of the prettiest girls in the show, but one of the most violent creatures imaginable.
That's a good way to put it.
She is. Her name is perfect. Esdeath. She is death.
Yeah,
like
literally.
She is death. So we talked about.
Brings the pain.
We talked about a little bit that there was another group, the Jaegers. She leads the Jaegers. She's very much like Nashida's leader of Night Raid here. She's the leader of the Jaegers. Let's talk about someone. Let's start off with Wave.
Yeah, my favorite character.
Let's talk about Wave.
He's
Fisherman Wave.
He's literally like Tatsumi 2.0.
He is. Very much. He mirrors Tatsumi a lot.
And like almost perfectly, because even though they're...
Except he's from the sea. His village is from the sea.
Even though they're like rivals because they're on the two opposite sides, they are literally the same character. Like they have the same problems. They
care too much about everybody.
Too much about everyone. Kind of care too much about the wrong people sometimes.
The difference part is a lot of the Jaegers don't care for each other. Some of them do.
He's one of the very few that do.
He's one of the few. Bowls,
but that's only like at the end though.
When you find out what.
Yeah, when you find out why.
But Bowls is tragic. Yeah, very tragic.
And then
story.
Same thing with Akame's sister.
Yeah,
which
Chrome.
Is kind of like another tragic story.
She warms up the Chrome.
She really, I mean, even though
Chrome kind of hates him at first. Like, get away, my cookies. Yeah, my cookies. My cookies. He's like, oh my god. Like, he's just trying to be nice.
Cookie. Yeah, don't touch my candies. Don't touch my treats.
Yeah. But it's not really candy or cookies. It's stuff to just keep her living.
Yeah.
She's addicted to.
That's such a sad story.
And do you like his even his power mirrors Tatsumi?
Yeah,
he has the armor. He has a Danger Beast armor, Imperial arms, which is awesome.
I like it because obviously you don't get to see him unleash the ultimate power like Tatsumi does of the armor.
You never really get to see Tatsumi do it in anime either because it changes in the manga much differently. But go ahead.
But it's cool that they kind of went that direction where they went to like, hey, like this story is so conflicted on both ends that you have the same character on either side. They have the same story. They have the same emotions, have the same feelings, and literally are almost fighting for the same thing.
They are. They're fighting for their side.
They're just fighting for the different sides, and And Wave, I think, kind of realizes that towards the end, where
he's one of the few that makes it. He makes it.
He decides that he's going to fight for what he wants to fight for.
Yeah.
And that's when he finally goes after Akame's sister. So.
Yeah, where which perfect segue is Chrome.
Yeah.
And her Imperial arms is to have puppets, like you said. Like, puppets of previous friends, stuff like that.
Trap your soul and, make you fight for her.
Yeah, and it's painful for them. Like, you don't get to see it much because they're just...
No, yeah, you're right.
They're just kind of like you said, emotionless puppet. And just being used and being strained, they don't get a proper death. And it's just not... It's anything.
No,
it's Danger Beast. It's whatever. And Chrome's very powerful, but again, she eats those cookies to...
Keep her alive.
Keep her alive, and...
Because there's something with her power... I don't remember if it was directly with her power or what they tried to...
They tortured her the most.
Yeah, but they tried to do something to her.
Yeah, she was tortured.
They tried to get more power into her.
Yeah, she was tortured.
And in doing so, they
messed her up.
It's almost like messed her up. But the only way to keep her alive
is to
eat the things that were kind of like keeping the power that they tried to put into her in check.
Yes, where Akame escaped that fate. Yeah. She escaped that fate.
And her sister kind of holds a grudge against Akame because she escaped without her.
And Akame, she betrayed her. Well, yeah. That's how she sees it.
That's how she sees it, yeah.
Because they were supposed to lead the armies together, but she ended up flipping because they were very close. And they become the greatest enemy. Mm-hmm. And Akame proves how deadly she is by not... she can kill anybody. She can kill anybody in a drop of the hat, even family, But it's not out of disrespect or fear or anything like that. It's out of love. Yeah. Which sounds strange that you're killing, but it is
in her eyes.
It's love.
Especially a lot of
it's setting you free from your torture.
Until, you're not a mark, so if she's killing you when you're not a mark, it's because it's for the benefit of the good.
Yeah, she really loves her sister, but that's why she could kill her. And that's why I prefer, I prefer Akame a little bit, because Chrome's grudge, I don't feel... I feel for her. I do feel for her. But I like Akame's side a little bit more. Chrome is kind of very standoffish, kind of like how Chelsea is at first. Then she kind of warms up a little bit.
Dude, Wave's so persistent.
He is. He won't let it go. Let's talk about Senru.
You gotta remind me which one that one is.
She is the police girl with the dog.
Oh.
She's one of the first ones to join the Jaeger. She's recruited.
The one.
And she is...
I forgot. She's the one that, dies in one of the first couple episodes, and then she's given the power, and she was yeah.
She's supposed to die,
and that stupid dog thing that she has that transforms and, oh my god, eats things. Oh, I forgot about this.
It's an amazing power.
What's an amazing thing that I forgot about this? Because,
she's a pretty psychotic character. You can tell
becomes that way. Because she wants the power. She wants the power to be able to do something. And the crazy part about it is, she really thinks she's doing it for good.
Yes. And she feels like justice.
You can see it.
She's being used.
She's being used, manipulated, and she is evil. She doesn't even realize how evil she is.
Because she's experimented on a lot by her old Captain Ogre and everything.
That's the guy Takumi fight.
Yep, there's one of his first major kills. Yeah. And she holds a big grudge. She hates Night Rain because of that. Yeah. To the point where she wants to kill them all, and her powers.
She pretty much does.
She almost gets her way. Almost gets her way. She's a very unique character.
Yeah, I forgot about her, bro.
She's one of the evil side. She seems so sweet and nice, but if you're not on her side, she despises you. Dr. Stylish. Probably the creepiest member.
Definitely the creepiest.
The most flamboyant member, for sure. He experiments on people by giving them better abilities and stuff.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say he has weird powers too.
His powers are very strange, very very strange. He's okay. He's one of the ones you just don't really care about. Yeah, he's kind of a throwaway.
He's the throwaway character.
He's kind of the throwaway character. He has a pretty epic fight scene.
He does have a good fight scene.
But he's nothing to say. To be honest, nothing to say too much about him.
The three main Jaegers to pay attention to were Wave, Bulls, and Chrome.
And this guy, Run.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it. I forgot about him too.
He's a teacher.
Well, see, I guess that's why the story, like a lot of the Jaeger stories, didn't hit with me because the three that did were the more emotional ones.
Yes, and he comes from a peaceful village. He was a teacher from a peaceful village. His power is of wing, like he has wings, angelic wings that shoot, poisonous or just feathers hit you hard and kill you. But
they shoot steel feathers.
But he is one of the few survivors. It's like, he's not necessarily evil. He's Death's personal butler.
Yeah, he's actually really weird. Yeah. Because he doesn't really fit the mold of either the good or bad side. And he kind of
very moral gray area.
Kind of does.
Which is kind of like the story in general. It's a very big moral gray area. A lot of people have their strong opinion about that side, and some have that strong opinion about this side. So he's very unique. You see him quite a few times. I like him a lot. This is probably my favorite one out of the group, though, is Bulls. Yeah. Bulls is probably... He doesn't look like it, but in my opinion, he's the most normal. He has a wife and kid.
You see him as a human being.
Yes. Even though he wears this ridiculous mask because he sets people on fire.
Obviously, you don't really get much dialogue from him.
At first, but then he does.
Especially during that fight.
Which is super funny.
Which
is super funny when he first meets Wave. Like, he's the first one in the group there, and Wave's, like, super creeped out because of his mask and everything. And he's like, sorry, Wave, I didn't mean to scare you. I just was very shy, and I didn't want to talk to anybody.
He's like the one that's like, I was just kind of like being myself.
Which is super creepy, which kind of gets into your psychological horror, what people, perception-wise could put on you.
Yeah, because of course, when you walk in... And you see him what he was wearing, and it looks evil.
It looks very menacing for sure.
You realize, no, he's a really nice guy. He's a really nice guy. He's a father, bro. It's sad. It's a sad story.
Yeah, and it's funny, and Wave's like, oh my god, well, he's got a wife and kid. Bulls, you gotta, your family's here. And he's like, oh my god.
Did he imagine him in all masks?
Yeah, he does. And he's freaked out, he's creeped. And then it's the most beautiful looking woman and beautiful daughter. You're like, oh, my family's here. And they're having a big moment, and Wave gets jealous about it. Because that's what he wants a little bit. Yeah. He wants a normal life. And it's funny. And he's the most normal. But him, Run, somewhat Chrome, and Wave. I'd say Wave, Run, and
Wave has
Bulls.
The biggest impact on the story.
Those three are probably the most normal out of the group. They're not truly evil. They're just doing their job.
Yeah, because they like everybody else, and they got recruited to be Jaegers because of their powers.
Yes, and because what they do.
They're not necessarily were bad people to begin with. They just know they're being recruited to fight against bad people. So that's why they're down for it.
So what would you give the show rating-wise? Let's end it here. We talked a little longer than I thought we would. So
we're still doing 1 through 10s?
Yeah, let's go through 1 through 10.
Let's shoot the,
or do you want to do A or
let's do thumbs up? Or let's
get a little, Roger and Ebert. Go ahead.
Let's stick with the theme. How many kills?
Wow, that could be anything. Out of what?
Legitimately kills?
Out of how much?
Nah, well, it's a 7. For me, it's a 7. It's entertainment.
7 out of 10.
Yeah, it's entertainment. It's real good. It's a good mix of a bunch of different genres. It's a likable bunch of characters, even though you really shouldn't like all of them. I really have no negatives.
We already talked about it.
I really don't have any big negatives about it. There really are no big setbacks.
The ending's kind of...
Yeah, if you really want to dig more into the story, you can read the manga.
Manga's better, of course.
You know.
Obviously so. But
Not a lot
For
of people
me,
have time to do that.
I give this a 9 out of 10. This is one of my favorites. This was one of my favorites. That's why I bought both collector's editions. I love this show. It's one of my go-home shows. I like the sick, violent horror stuff.
That makes sense. Now that I know what kind of shows you like this it makes sense why you like this as much as you do.
Yeah.
Especially after the one show you showed me that one time. We can talk about that one day.
Yeah. But I like the violent horror type stuff.
Yeah.
This, even though it's more psychological in this, I would say, which is a good point. It's a fun
really
show for me. I like violent stuff. I like Hellsing stuff that are creeped out. Berserk, one of my favorite shows. And I know that the show is just my wheelhouse. It just hits home right for me. It's just the perfect meatball, grand slam for me. The reason why it's not a 10 out of 10 for me is just because it's just because the ending, kind of like Claymore, the ending's just kind of bad for me. It just shocks me in the wrong way, not the good type of shock. And it surprises you. I'm kind of interested to see if they ever do the prequel or if they redo this one, because if they do redo it, I'd be all for it. And they follow it more serious to the manga.
They would literally have to redo it. It'd be like
I give it 9 out of 10
all over again.
Well, happy Halloween, folks. Thanks again to Chad. Glad to have you back.
Thanks for listening to us talk for an hour about Akame Ga Kill.
Episode 5, Anime Time.
You got an hour about Akame Ga Kill.
Yes, you did. Be safe. Enjoy your night.
Get all the candy you can.
Like
trick or treat.
Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me in the comments below if you really like this anime and what anime time you want to see next.
Should Levi dress up tonight when he's playing
Evil Within? Evil Within? Should I put on one of my old Halloween costumes?
Yeah.
Not? Let's find out. But thank you guys so much. Thanks again, Chad. I had so much fun talking. There was so much more I wanted to talk about, but we need to cut it. We got to cut it because the purpose of Anime Time is just to get you guys into it. And we kind of spoiled a little bit.
We spoiled a lot more than we usually spoil.
Yeah.
This has been out for a real long time.
It has, for a few years now, a couple years
now. It's
not
like Seven Deadly Sins where it's kind of like, I don't think people are going to jump into this because
it
kind of is over.
You kind of have to have this taste where you it's on Huluween. Like, they even said it's listed under one of the Huluween.
That's so weird.
It's there, so it is put under the horror category, so Chad's kind of right to a degree. I could understand it, but we'll go check it out. If you got Hulu, you got if you got Hulu, I think Crunchyroll, anything else.
Stream it however you want to stream it, man.
Go watch it. It's really good. It's really good. But like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what you think in the comments below. Love all the love and support lately. It's been insane.
Yeah, you guys are doing great.
It's been hugely insane.
Keep watching those videos. Keep smashing that like button.
Yes, we really appreciate it. And stay tuned for episode 6. Thanks again, Chad.
Yes, sir.